Today's episode is for the 22nd day of the month of Cheshvan. We are beginning and completing chapter 16, which discusses the laws of interruptions during the Shema and the blessings that surround Shema. And so we will be doing the entire chapter, paragraphs 1 through 7. Now, this is a very technical chapter. And because of that, I'm going to go out of order a little bit. I'm not even going to give you all of the rules. I'm going to lay out some concepts, and then I'm going to direct you to where you can find the rules in a much easier fashion, much clearer. So, in Psuke de Zimra, the earlier section of the morning services, we discussed what interruptions you can make, what interruptions you can't make, etc. With this section, the next section of the morning service is called Kriya Shema, the reciting of the Shema, Ubirchaseha, and the blessings that surround it. In the morning, we have two blessings before Shema, two long blessings, and we have one long blessing after Shema. A lot of paragraphs make up each of those blessings. In the evening, for the evening services, we also recite the Shema, and then we have two blessings before and two blessings after. So the rules of interrupting around these blessings are much more complicated. And it depends on if you're in middle of what's called a section or in between sections. This larger section of the prayers are divided into subsections. So interrupting in between subsections is much more lenient than interrupting within the middle of a subsection. So I recommend pulling out an article sitter. Again, I'm using the Wasserman edition of the article sitter, the Nusach Ashkenaz, the Ashkenazic liturgy, and the section, this section of Shema and its blessings begins on page 84, and it goes through page 96. And so I'm just going to go through the page numbers where the subsections are. So subsection number 1 begins again on page 84, halfway down, and it ends on page number 88, halfway down, where it says, Baruch Atah Hashem Yitzhar Maros, blessed are you God, who fashions luminaries. The subsection number 2 begins halfway down page 88. This is a blessing called Ava Rabbah, thanking God for the mitzvah of studying Torah, and it ends on page number 90, the next page, with the blessing Baruch Atah Hashem HaBechar B'Yisrael B'Ahava, blessed are you God, who chose his people Israel with love. The next subsection begins on the bottom of page 90 with the Shema itself and goes through the first paragraph of Shema, ending on page 92 after that first paragraph. The next subsection begins with the second paragraph of Shema, so it's a third of the way down on page 92, and goes to the end of that paragraph, which is the bottom of page 92, and the last subsection begins on page 94. It goes through the end of Shema and it continues into the blessing after Shema, and this subsection ends on page 96 at the bottom with the blessing of Ga'al Yisrael, thanking blessed you God who redeemed Israel. So what you could interrupt in between these subsections and what you could interrupt within the middle of subsections are different. And instead of going through it, I'm going to refer you to the back of the article sitter again, where they had a section of the laws on page, in this edition that I'm using, it's on page 1085. And it says over there, between the Shema blessings, and then further down it says, during the Shema and its blessings, there's two bold words. So if you are in the middle of that section and you want to know what you correspond to, then I recommend flipping back there and taking over there. It gets technical and involved, so we're just going to leave it for that for today's episode. Have a wonderful day and see you on the next episode.